why are you there at 24 years old? So he had 5 essentially full seasons in college. The best players you're playing that are your age are in the NFL.
I do think 61 starts matter, and experience matters, and playing in different systems and on different teams and in different leagues. All that stuff kind of builds that moxie that you need inside you to run a Sean Payton offense.
In 2023, the Denver Broncos season was filled with high expectations, but ended in disappointment. With the arrival of Sean Payton as head coach and veteran quarterback Russell Wilson leading the offense, the team aimed for a playoff berth. However, the season was marred by inconsistent performances, injuries, and strategic missteps. Wilson, seemingly a marked man from the very beginning, struggled under Payton's offensive scheme, leading to a series of underwhelming performances and tension.
They came up to me during the bye week, and they told me that if I didn't change my contract, my injury guarantee, that I'd be, I'd be benched for the rest of the year. I was definitely disappointed about it. I think, for me, I came here to play here, to win. I knew it was going to be a process I signed a 7-year deal to, for us to go and play hard, and that's my goal every time I step into the white lines.
We can't sit in a press conference and say, well, the push behind this is strictly to get spark on the offense, when per the reports, and if the reports are true, that there was a go-to with Russell Wilson's representatives saying, hey, we want you to alter the contract and the timing of it when it comes to some of the language. Those two things can't happen at the same time. Right. We can't sit there and say, well, this is just to play better on offense or spark the offense, when we know that you've already went to try and do something to the contract. The second thing is, you can't sit there and say it's only and all about winning. You're 6-3 in your last 9 games.
This decision set the stage for the 2024 NFL Draft, where the Broncos, eager to find a new franchise quarterback, turned their attention to the promising talent pool. The draft represented a crucial opportunity for the team to rebuild and rejuvenate their roster, hoping to find the next leader who could guide them back to success.
For you, what team in the first round makes the most sense for him?
Yeah, when you look at Bo's profile, highly efficient, gets the ball out of his hands fast, finds open receivers quickly, makes good decisions. Doesn't that sound like a Sean Payton type of quarterback? That sounds like Drew Brees type of quarterback. That sounds like a Denver Bronco type of quarterback.
I mean, the urgency on draft night was super intense, as teams were scrambling to secure the next face of their franchise as quarterbacks were being selected at a historic rate. The Broncos felt the pressure to secure their guy before the best talents were off the board, but each passing pick heightened the stakes, making the selection a pivotal moment for the franchise's future.
With the 12th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.
Hello? Hey. Yes, sir, I appreciate it. Absolutely. You want to win a Super Bowl?
The Denver Broncos select Bo Nix.
There it is.
Quarterback, Oregon.
6 for 12.
But who is Bo Nix? Let's find out. Born on February 25, 2000 in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, brought up in a football family, his father, Patrick Nix, was a former Auburn quarterback and an accomplished high school coach.
One in the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Auburn! Touchdown, Auburn! Nix to Sanders. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Bo grew up immersed in the sport, learning the intricacies of the game from a young age. His high school career at Pinson Valley in Alabama was nothing short of spectacular. Playing under his father and leading his team to back-to-back state championships, Alabama's Mr. Football showcased his arm strength, mobility, and football IQ, cementing his status as one of the top quarterback prospects in the country. So, of course, following his father's footsteps, Bo would commit to Auburn.
Bo Nix, 5-star quarterback for Pinson Valley. He's got all the pressure in the world to be a playmaker because Auburn's desperate to have him. Simone Eli went behind the scenes with the hopeful future Auburn star.
Unfortunately, his 3 years there were a mixture of highs and lows. As a day one starter, he led Auburn to a thrilling victory over Oregon in his debut, displaying poise and clutch play.
Nix steps up, he throws to Williams. He's got it! Touchdown, Auburn! Touchdown, Auburn!
However, inconsistencies plagued his time at Auburn. Coaching changes, scheme adjustments, injuries, and the pressure of expectations led to a turbulent tenure.
He did not react as a normal quarterback at Auburn to the low points because it was Auburn.
So, after those 3 seasons with the Tigers, Nix transferred to the University of Oregon for his senior year. This one move revitalized his career. Under a new system and surrounded by a talented roster, Nix flourished.
He's going to run it. Nix inside the 5 and inside the end zone. He can do it with the arm and then showcase the smarts with the legs.
Finishing 3rd in Heisman voting, he demonstrated improved decision-making, accuracy, and leadership, culminating in a standout season that caught the attention of NFL scouts.
The comparison I had with him was just as a kid, and what you're buying to me was Jalen Hurts. And that Jalen Hurts, both sons of coaches, both guys played a lot of football collegiately, both went through adversity at their first school and really thrived at the second school.
So as the draft unfolded, Nix was selected as the 6th quarterback off the board. After the draft, Broncos head coach Sean Payton made it clear that the team got the player it had been targeting all along.
I think aside from the mental then, that day and even his pro day, his arm strength was extremely impressive. And you get to a point, and I remember saying this in our ownership meeting, and I said, we can't be the only ones seeing this.
But see, the thing is, any team will say that. But Payton sounds truthful in that the team just loved what Nix had to offer. But if we're being honest, out of the 6 quarterbacks drafted in the first round, they drafted the last one. And while being drafted into the NFL is a significant achievement, the harsh truth is, history has not been kind to the 6th quarterback taken in NFL drafts. Over the past 5 years, the 6th quarterback drafted has often struggled to make a lasting impact in the league. Okay, so here, I'm going to look back at the last 5 NFL drafts and focus on the 6th quarterback taken in each. While none of these guys were taken in the 6th round, you'll notice that none of these guys have done much of note either. So, either 2024 was an aberration and there were so many great quarterbacks in the class, or the Broncos simply overdrafted Nix and we'll see that over time. One of those statements is almost certainly true. Okay, so let's start in 2023. Jake Haener. He was drafted by the New Orleans Saints in the 4th round. The 5 quarterbacks selected ahead of him, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, and Hendon Hooker. See, Jake didn't play as a rookie and was suspended for the first 6 weeks of the season due to violating the league's policy against banned substances. He'll be playing for a spot on the roster this summer as the teams drafted Spencer Rattler this spring. 2022. Sam Howell was drafted by the Washington Commanders in the 5th round. His career stats so far are 63.2% completions for 4,115 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 22 interceptions. The 5 quarterbacks selected ahead of him, Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, Matt Corral, and Bailey Zappi. Now, to be fair, the 2022 quarterback class wasn't the strongest in the quarterback department, but ultimately it took just 18 games for the Commanders to trade him, which they did this offseason, sending him to the Seattle Seahawks, where he'll now be the backup to Geno Smith. 2021, Kyle Trask. He was drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the 2nd round. So far, his career stats are an astounding 3 of 10 passing for 23 yards. Oh man. The 5 quarterbacks selected ahead of him, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones. Now the Broncos needed a quarterback in this draft and had the chance to take one with the 9th overall pick, but they opted instead to go with Pat Surtain. The Bucs' selection of Trask never really materialized. There was talks last summer that he was pushing Baker Mayfield in training camp, but that won't happen this year after the season Mayfield had. 2020, Jacob Eason. He was taken by the Indianapolis Colts in the 4th round. His career stats thus far are 5 of 10 passing for 84 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. The 5 quarterbacks selected ahead of him? Oh man. Okay, Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, and Jalen Hurts. Okay, so we have to add some context here because that list is crazy. There were nearly 70 picks in the draft between the 5th quarterback taken, which is Jalen Hurts, and the 6th, which is Jacob Eason. The 5 names in the front of Eason are easily the best on this list, but then there was obviously a huge drop-off. Eason was on the practice squad for most of his career between 5 different teams and is currently out of the league at just 26 years old. In 2019, Ryan Finley, the Cincinnati Bengals took him in the 4th round. His career stats are 48.7% completions for 638 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. The 5 quarterbacks selected ahead of him: Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins, Drew Lock, and Will Grier. Now, if you remember this draft, Ryan Finley had a lot of appeal as a late-round steal. So the Bengals selected him with an eye on the future, but he never really came close to living up to the hype. After 2 seasons, he was traded to the Houston Texans, who didn't even wait until the start of training camp that season before waiving him. With the exception of Dwayne Haskins, who unfortunately passed away, all of the other quarterbacks taken ahead of Finley are still in the league. And Finley, he's been out for 3 years. So where does that leave Bo? Perhaps this is much ado about nothing, but historically, trends are trends for a reason. But despite this daunting historical trend, Bo Nix possesses several qualities that could help him break that mold. His resilience, forged through years of overcoming adversity, sets him apart. Nix has consistently shown the ability to learn and adapt, a crucial trait for NFL success. His experience in different offensive systems at Auburn and Oregon have provided him with a diverse skill set and a deep understanding of the game. Moreover, Nix's senior year at Oregon demonstrated his capacity for growth and improvement. Surrounded by a supporting coaching staff and talented teammates, he thrived. If he can replicate this environment in the NFL, he stands a chance to defy the odds. But while the stats paint a grim picture for the 6th quarterback drafted, there are exceptions to every rule. Because in 1983, the Miami Dolphins selected a young quarterback from the University of Pittsburgh as the 6th quarterback off the board. And that player? Well, he would ultimately become one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history.
The Dolphins select quarterback Dan Marino of Pittsburgh.
Marino's story serves as a reminder that while historical trends provide valuable insights, they're not destiny. Each player's journey is unique, shaped by their individual talents, circumstances, and perseverance. The journey of Bo Nix is a testament to the unpredictability of sports, where past trends inform but do not determine the future. For Nix, the road ahead is going to be challenging, but with determination and the right environment, he can prove that history is not an unbreakable chain, but rather a series of opportunities waiting to be taken.